This program contains adult content.
Is there a God?
Big atheist.
Really?
What am I, an idiot? Come on.
That yes, it would be nice if you could throw your sins and your responsibilities on someone else. But it's not true.
It looks like far-left lunacy.
I don't believe that it's true that religion is moral or ethical.
You don't need to follow anybody!
It's not human intelligence!
If someone doesn't value logical consistency, what logical argument are you going to give them that will demonstrate that they should?
Welcome to the Godless Revolution. Today is Friday, May 4th. This is episode 204. It's the first episode of season 5.
May the 4th be
No.
I had to do it.
No.
I had to do it.
No. Oh, man.
I think Ryan's peeking.
Yeah, I peaked early.
Now we have to leave it in. Now we have to leave it in that I said that.
Yeah.
Should be off-show notes.
So yeah, first episode of season 5, and
That's crazy.
yeah, we did four full fucking seasons, and that's not like
12 episodes a season. That's a full fucking year.
yeah,
Yeah, that's like 50 episodes or something.
at least 50 episodes per year. I think we've missed just very occasionally, like we missed last week, but
Yeah.
that doesn't typically happen. We're usually recording like every week.
We don't take weeks at a time off like some shows. You're like, oh, we're going to take a break for 3 weeks.
Because we're going to Jamaica or Hong Kong or whatever. No, this was a death in the family.
I mean, nice, yeah. Not the death of the family
that would
nice.
be nice. Oh, actually, I'm peeking. So,
Oh, is it you?
yeah. So I'm a premature as well. But over here in America, we don't get fucking vacation and shit like that.
Mhm.
Not like they do in the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, we do, but
Well, yeah, but they're
gone like every other week.
Yeah, they get a lot of vacation in the Europes.
Yeah.
And we don't. Like, we get usually companies will give their employees 2 weeks paid vacation and like a week's worth of sick time.
And that's
the entire year.
And that's all up to the boss. They don't have to give you anything.
Right, yeah.
They're not required to give you any vacation.
Yeah. I think in the UK it's a requirement that you get 6 weeks paid leave for holiday.
Yeah. Well, I'm almost up to this.
Holiday.
Yeah.
I don't know what mine breaks down to because I hit the 15-year mark where I get extra leave now.
Oh, yeah? So
When did you turn 15?
4 full weeks now?
About 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
No, well, it comes out to like 4 weeks before, but now, before it was 11 hours of pay period, now I get 14 hours of pay period.
And what percentage would you say that is?
I don't know.
I know you don't.
That was a pointed jab at your math skills. Well, the snappy comeback was the good bit there. Well, what have you guys been doing for the past 2 weeks now, I guess?
2 weeks? Yeah, just been doing shit around the house still. I started on the yard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fun.
That's literally around the house.
Yeah, literally around the house. Flower pots, gave myself food poisoning. That sucked.
Oh, yeah. So tell us more about that.
Oh,
Please.
Not all drink bitters are meant to be left out.
Uh-huh.
So I had some Tom Collins drink bitters.
Uh-huh.
Some bitters specifically for Tom Collins.
Uh-huh.
And I had 3 drinks.
Uh-huh.
Not enough to make you like horribly shit-faced or anything.
Uh-huh.
And woke up at 3 a.m. with a splitting headache and shitting and puking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, not fun.
Uh-huh. Did it not taste weird at all?
I hadn't had it in a
or?
long time. It didn't taste like bad. It tasted really sweet, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Like sweeter than I remember it being.
Yeah.
And
which is odd for bitters.
It is. But I also put simple syrup in it, too, because that's the...
Yeah.
I was told you do like a 3-2-1 thing, like 3 parts alcohol, 2 parts bitter, 1 part sweet or something like that.
I don't think it's 3 parts alcohol.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Well, in the ratios of it. So if you do like 2 shots of alcohol,
now we're getting into ratios.
You do 1 shot of bitter and a half shot of sweet.
Uh-huh. Huh. But it just had gone bad?
It went bad.
And you had no idea until you were...
Until about 3 a.m. when I'm laying in bed going, it feels like someone has put
your body's purging everything?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't nauseous because I got up and I went in the shower first. So I'm like, I just need to go lay in the shower.
Yeah.
That's literally what I did. I just laid in
there?
I'm like, my body is wanting to kill itself right now.
Do you have a tub or was this a...
Oh, it's just a big like shower. There's no tub. It's like a big tiled shower.
Is it big enough for you to lay in it?
In the fetal position.
Curled up, rocking back and forth.
Not only was my head about ready to explode, but I'm like, oh, I just don't feel good. And then I got out of the shower and I'm like, I just feel really nauseous. And I kind of thought about puking. I'm like, no, I didn't. I went and sat down. I'm like, oh no, I'm puking. Yeah.
No es bueno.
And then shitting and then puking.
Not bueno at all.
No, not fun. Not a good way to start a weekend.
Yeah, that's sucky. That's pretty shitty, man.
Yeah. And Sarah's parents were here at that time too. So they were here last week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So this is your first time meeting the parents?
Yeah.
And how'd that go?
They'd like my mustache where my mom does not.
Well, good.
So win.
Yeah. They like the mustache, but didn't really care for you?
Yeah. Just, they're like, Sarah, keep the mustache. Cut it off, put it on some piece of tape it up, keep it in the book.
You just cut his upper lip off and you'd be fine.
Yeah, just get rid of that guy.
Put it on the dog or something.
He has a bow tie.
Oh, yeah. How's Oz doing? Did he get his drain out and everything?
Yeah, all the drains out. I took his stitches out because I'm like, we don't need to take him back to the vet to cut just snip and pull.
Yeah.
It didn't bother him. He's back to being completely normal again. And Sarah did go back to the dog park and find a chunk of fence that was hanging loose that he ended up stabbing himself on.
Yeah, I saw that. So it looks like
it's like
the chain link where they wrap it, they wrap a wire around the chain link to hold it to the pole.
Yeah. Looked like one of those had come loose in the exact spot where she saw him run into the fence. So she went back and removed it.
Yeah, it looked like just a big, thick wire hook.
Yeah.
Basically.
That would do it.
But I guess he didn't, when he was there, she didn't notice that he'd done anything. He didn't make a noise, didn't start complaining, just that when he walked over by her, he was bleeding.
Yeah.
Just whipping it around with his tail and stuff.
Yeah.
Blood.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I'm glad he's better.
Yeah. Yeah, he's back to himself.
Oh, good. And you, sir, over the past couple weeks?
I have 2 things that I brought.
Oh, yeah?
Is that me still?
No, that was me.
Oh, okay. One of them is that I've been binge watching Forensic Files and the one thing that I noticed is that in almost every single case, and the thing is, a lot of these crimes are really heinous. Like they're bad guys, and, in some cases they're serial killers and whatever, but there's a lot of sexual assault and, mutilation of the body and all like nasty stuff. Kids, there's a whole bunch of crap. And so I get, that the families of the victims and whatever, like really fucking hate these guys. I get that. But what ends up happening almost every single time is after they get the conviction, the family of the victims and the police and the prosecutors are all saying something to the effect of, yeah, we got the death penalty, but, in this case, death is too good for this guy or something. They always say something like that, like almost every time. And it's across those 3. It's the victim's family. Okay, sure. Of course but why is the prosecutor saying that? Why are the police saying, you know what I mean? And I noticed that by the way, I've had bronchitis. I'm not contagious anymore, but that's what the voice thing is about.
Yeah. Just
I've been assured by my doctor that I'm no longer contagious.
Just be known that the bronchitis will not transfer through the podcast app.
Right. Yeah. So you all should be fine. But anyway, I realized that's why it's such an uphill battle in the capital punishment debate arena, because the Overton window is so far beyond death. You know what I mean? They're wishing more than that. What can we do more? This isn't even enough.
Oh, yeah, it's not even
hell forever. And can we do more than just?
Well, because at that point, it's their emotions that are taking over. They're not thinking about it in a kind of logical sense. It's it's pure emotion.
Well, sure. Yeah. And that's why the battle is so,
well,
uphill.
for them, it's not even, should we do away with the death penalty? It's, that's not even a question. It's how can we make their lives before we kill them even shittier or string it out so that it's even worse when we kill them.
Right.
Huh. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that, but that's, yeah.
Yeah. And so we need to first bring it back to the death penalty before we can even make any headway.
Mm-hmm.
They're even beyond that. And like I said, it's not just the victims. It's the fucking prosecutors and the cops are all like, yeah, no, fucking, I'd have pulled the switch if I could myself, all that kind of shit, just very sort of glib and it doesn't matter. It's like, what if that wasn't even the guy?
Yeah.
If I could have just killed this guy with a cheese grater, that's the way I'd have done.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is that guy. I mean, the funny thing about this show is that like they try to like mislead you by showing you some possible suspect early on in the show. But almost every time when the actual guy, when the actual perpetrator's photo comes up, you're like, oh, that fucking guy did it. For sure, that fucking guy did it. How do you interview him and let him go, you fucking cops? That's the fucking guy. Look at his van.
Yeah, it wasn't the neighbor's dog, you dipshit.
Yeah, but... And then, what?
Oh, I was just going to say, so that was the first thing. What was the other thing?
Yeah. So the other thing is that the highway around here has recently within the last few years, right, gotten the light up marquee upgrades.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been pissing me off ever since they fucking put that in because I don't know what motherfucker thinks that they're fucking clever that gets to put the messages on those fucking things.
Oh,
and they're always some little cute,
stupid,
exactly, some bullshit thing. And I tell Danielle every time, I'm like, they fucking abuse this shit. Like what they're doing is they're training all of us to ignore the messages that are up there because they're so fucking mundane and stupid that when they actually need to post something, nobody's gonna look. Keep them off until there's an emergency. Yeah. That way, when the lights are on, we all know something's happening.
And we need to pay attention to it.
Well, guess what happened today? All the way through Utah County and up into Salt Lake County was backed up traffic coming up here. The entire fucking way. Guess what was on the marquee? May the fucking 4th be with you. Drive safely. Did it say what was going on? No. Did it mention that there was backed up traffic? No. Did it say, oh, hey, there's congestion or that there's a fucking accident up in Lehigh? Nope. None of that. May the 4th be with you. Fuck you, UDOT.
I also love it when they
By the way, my medicine not working as well as the other.
I also love it when they put on the sign, keep your eyes on the road. Well, I gotta take my fucking eyes off the road to reach your fucking sign.
Yeah. Hey, if I can't text and drive, you can't send me texts.
No, you're absolutely right. So Steve Cuno, we've had on the show. He was the co-author with Joanne Hanks for It's Not About the Sex, My Ass. Yeah. I'm talking about her life in a polygamist cult. And he made a post, I think a couple of months ago, basically saying the same thing, like, don't use these signs for stupid shit like that because you're just training everybody to think that the only thing on there is going to be stupid shit and they don't need to pay attention to it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. Not that anybody reads signs or relevant information when they drive around here anyway, but if they happen to glance in that direction, it should be off unless, I mean, they're literally, like, this is not the time to practice your fucking stand-up routine, okay? UDOT employee, get the fuck off of there unless there's a relevant update.
Well, but then they're just sitting there. We're not using them. It seems like a waste. No,
well, you're wasting power.
They're for emergency.
They're there to alert people to specific hazards and information about being on the fucking road, not May the 4th be with you. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And also, I hate the May the 4th be with you thing anyway. Like,
there's that element too.
It's so.
That's why I brought it today because, like, the other times they've always had stupid shit, but I'm just like, oh, that fucking does it. This is going on the show.
Like, Tracy knows that it fucking bothers me, and so she makes it a point usually to be, Happy May the 4th.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
even realize it was May the 4th until I see people on Facebook. Hey, I'm doing a Star Wars marathon in my house. And I'm like, why the fuck are you? Like, you live in a tiny ass apartment. Why are you inviting everybody on Facebook to your apartment? Like, I see more. I'm like, oh yeah, it's May 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got you. I thought yesterday was May 5th. So I'm confused as fuck.
Oh, yeah. So over the past couple weeks, I've been dealing with a death in the family.
What have you been doing, Dan?
Yeah. Yeah. Dealing with a death in the family. That's been lots of not fun. It was Tracy's stepfather, who she's been estranged from for, I don't know, a decade or more. So it was Tracy's second stepfather. So her birth father died when she was really young. He was, an electrician and got knocked out of his cherry picker bucket when he was doing some work. And
I was going to say, did he ride the lightning?
No, he basically just fell 50 or 60 feet to his death.
Yeah, that's probably worse.
In front of his brother, who he was out there training his brother on this new technique for doing something, and
that sucked.
Something happened and something came around and something swung around and knocked him out of the bucket to the ground. Yeah. And so he died. So he dead now. He been dead a long time. And so Tracy's got 3 siblings from her birth father. Well, there's 3 kids from the birth father. There's Tracy, her brother Brian, and her brother Brent, who was not even born when her dad died. Her mom was pregnant with Brent when their father died. And then Tracy's mom married this other guy who was very mentally and physically abusive, and is now a born-again Christian. I think I've mentioned him on the show before.
Perfect fit.
Yeah,
Passing out the little chick tracts at my house when I invited him over for Thanksgiving.
A real do as I say, not as I do kind of guy. Huh?
Yeah. So
just like God.
Yeah. So then Tracy's mom married Tracy's second stepfather. And, Tracy was a bit older. She's a young teen when they got married, and the rest of her siblings had never known any other father, really. They had these images of the second husband, who was just really horribly physically and mentally abusive, just a total dick. And so when, Joel came around, her third husband, Tracy was kind of out of the dad business at that point. But her younger siblings were all in. Like, there's this, he's basically a hero riding in to save them all. He was a great father figure to the boys, and, fathered, Tracy's youngest brother. And, he was basically a pretty decent guy. And taught the boys everything they know about how to be men, here in the rugged Utah.
Oh, yeah.
Took them hunting and fishing, and he was a general contractor, so he was a manly man. I don't think that I would have liked him very much. He was clearly sexist and misogynist, and
yeah, he's a contractor.
Yeah. Well,
and from Utah.
Yeah, he was a conservative guy from Utah, who I'm sure I would not have liked very much, but he was much better than the previous guy. And, the other kids in the family grew up knowing him and whatever. And just throughout his life, he burned all kinds of bridges with everybody. He's the kind of guy who didn't like to admit when he was wrong about anything. And so he lost a lot of friends through stuff like that. And then he had, accidents on the job, so he was in a lot of pain, and then he got hooked on painkillers, then became addicted to those, and I don't know, his life just kind of spiraled, and he ended up cheating on Tracy's mom a couple different times. So that all ended really, really badly. And so he had been basically estranged from the kids for quite a while. And I think just the years of alcohol and pills and poor health finally caught up with him, and he died in his sleep. But then, of course, there's, he basically had nothing, but he hadn't set up anything for his death. So Tracy's brothers all had to fly into town. They stayed with us, and, trying to take care of funeral arrangements and gathering his stuff and splitting it up between the family, trying to close his account. I mean, just all the shit you got to deal with. And so they were in town for a week, and it's still not all taken care of, but, and then everybody feels bad that they hadn't spoken with him for so long, and they'd been estranged, and now he's dead, and so they'll never be able to make up for that and reconcile or whatever. And it was really hard on everybody. And of course, I never met him. I'd never known him. And so then I was just kind of the observer and listener to everybody's stories and everything all the past more than a week, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much all taken care of for the most part. They still are trying to finish up all the loose ends, and they decided to cremate him, and they're going to divvy up the ashes between the kids, and then they're going to spread some where they went hunting and camping and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just been rough, the whole family. So thank you all for being patient since we didn't do a show last week, and the kind words of support that were offered. I appreciate that. But yeah, it sucks, man. Death is not a good thing.
We've been talking about death a lot lately.
Lately, right? Fuck me. I'm tired of talking about death. I don't like to talk about it and deal with it anyway. I just kind of put that stuff on the side. But yeah, it's been rough, but it's done with for now, I think, pretty much.
Well, do we have any happy things to talk about?
Oh yeah, we got all kinds of stuff we can talk about. Oh, I went to the Utah State Prison. A friend of mine.
Very happy.
Very happy.
Very happy.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, American prisons, joyful places.
Yeah. A friend of mine is guard at the Utah State Prison, and dude, the Utah State Prison is old as fuck. It was built in 1951.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
and then they've just kind of added on to it when they needed different things. And so it's like, there's no uniformity to it, really. It's just like this series of connected buildings with different types of cells.
Well, I mean, that's probably good, because that way if an inmate gets loose, he's very confused at where the fuck he is.
Yeah, I don't know how they navigate around in there. Like, there's not many signs. There's a ton of signs with, like, there's red paint on the floor. And then there's a sign that says out of bounds. Like the inmates are not supposed to cross those red lines. And...
Do you really want signs to say this way to the exit in a prison?
It was a trip, man. I got to see the first cell block that they had for death row. And we toured the Ochre and Wasatch. Yeah, Ochre and Wasatch facilities. All of the facilities are named after different mountain ranges in the area.
Do they have the gun range in there?
No, well, not that I saw. It's probably in the max part.
Okay.
But
there's a mountain range named Gun around here?
Well, no, because Utah's the only state left that lets you get execution by a firing squad.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah. But Utah, so the state prison has Supermax, Max, Medium. They've got women's section of the prison. Like they house everybody. One of the problems that they were having in medium security, which was one of the facilities we toured, is that they have 2 Hispanic gangs from California at Utah State Prison. It's the Norteños and Soreños or something like that.
The only gangs I've ever heard of
it's basically
the MS-13 or whatever.
That's Ogden. Yeah, they do have them in the prison as well. And apparently they're super violent. Like Utah has a super violent Hispanic gang headquartered in Ogden.
But what I learned is if you're a white boy and you're a little bit funny, they like you.
No, I like you, Holmes. You're all right.
I've been inadvertently partied with MS-13 gang members.
Oh, awesome. Ish.
Yeah, I didn't find out till later on.
But so they have these 2 gangs from California, from Northern California and Southern California, and there's this big rivalry between the 2 of them. And so they've had to separate them because they're all in the same facility and same block. And so they've tried to arrange it so that they're not killing each other or having big fights and riots, that they have, one of the gangs, they've split them into A and B days basically for going out into the yard.
Yeah.
And
for less shankings.
Yeah. Yeah. But then the ACLU caught wind of that and filed lawsuit because they're violating their civil rights, that they're not getting the same time outside that all of the other inmates are getting. So
Oh,
it's an
right.
inequality thing. And so now the
then
prison is
just
faced
restrict
with
every other prisoner to you only get every other day. Done.
Well, then they don't have the facilities to keep, they can't switch everybody out like that. This was just to try to calm the violence down, basically, and make sure that inmates aren't being harmed and killing each other as often, I guess. But then because of this lawsuit, now they're going to have to reintegrate them, and they're
not good.
They know it's going to be really terrible, but they don't really have any choice. And so they've increased training for their officers in use of shotguns, because they're like, of course we're going to do what we can to try to save an inmate who's being attacked, but we're not going to put ourselves in harm's way.
That's why they're training with beanbag rounds and tasers, right? No, they go right for shotguns first thing.
Well, the shotguns have the beanbag rounds.
Yeah, they do, but is that what they're using, or they're using live ammunition?
I don't know.
I thought most prisons don't actually. I thought most prisons had less than lethal. Was what most of their ammunition was less than lethal ammunition.
Well, that'd be good.
Because you don't want to go in there firing rifle rounds off inside of a concrete room.
That's why they're
bullets
using
bouncing off the walls and shit.
Sure,
ricocheting.
I don't think they have fucking Barretts in there, but I'm just saying, like, or even 300s, or just.
Well, a Barrett would go through the wall.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know what type of ammunition they plan to use, but
I'm sure that when they're in there, the thing they're concerned about is the living quarters and how well those are kept up.
Well, no, I was saying
we don't want to damage the cell walls here.
Yeah.
Shooting 5 wrong inmates versus the guy you're actually trying to take out.
Yeah, it could happen too, but
with bouncing rounds.
Yeah, I see.
Well, and all of the guards seemed friendly. They all seemed like they really cared about what they're doing.
You're white and not in jail.
Well, no, but I mean, they appeared to be doing what they can with the resources that they have available to them. I mean, they tried to reduce the amount of violence between these rival gang members, and now they're stuck in a place where they have to reintegrate them, and they know it's going to be a bad thing. And so how do you handle that? Like, that's a shitty fucking
yeah,
thing
I would disagree with
that.
the ACLU's position on this case.
Well, I mean, you can see that,
though. I mean,
legally, the quality issue is one thing, but is there not a higher safety issue component to it versus the equality issue?
Sure.
I mean, their job is also not only to, house the prison, but their safety and their well-being.
Yeah,
though they are in prison,
but so then you can foresee a circumstance where you've got some asshole running the prison who's just like, no, fuck it, I'm going to lock up people as much as I can, not give them any time in the yard. And that's a total privilege. And so we're going to use this as an excuse to say that we need to keep them separated and limit their time. And so, yeah, I mean, it's hard,
if it goes to that
because
extreme,
people
but
can be shitty, but
I think when you do have two rival gangs that have a violent history when they're put together, putting them together is not a good idea.
Right. But then how do you actually justify that? Like, you can say whatever you want, but then you're going to have people come out and investigate and interview. Like, it's not, you can't just, there's a lot of nuance here. You can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to do it this way and that's fine, because then you have to look at equality, at civil rights issues and equal access issues and stuff like that. And then how do you determine if they're being accurate and honest in what they're saying is their reason behind limiting their time out in the yard? And, maybe it's a punitive thing that they're just using this as a cover-up. We live in the age of fake news and post-truth. Yeah. So how do you determine that without going through all of these steps? You can't just take somebody's word for it. And then it becomes an administrative bureaucratic nightmare, which it already is anyway. Yeah. But yeah, it's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, it is tricky.
But they're building a new prison out west of Salt Lake.
Is that one actually being built now? Because I thought there was a lot of contention with that, with the location of it, with actually the funding for it.
Oh yeah, but Republicans don't give a fuck. They're pushing forward anyway. They're like, so the primary issue was, if they close down the prison. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. When the Utah State Prison was originally built in 1951, there was nothing out there. It's out at the point of the mountain. Draper was not a thing. Like, the prison was just a thing on the side of the road that you passed as you went to Provo, other points, further south. But now you've got...
Now that area's booming with
$500,000 homes.
Draper
blew up all around there. What's
got
the fucking
Eagle? Is it Eagle Mountain right
Eagle
there?
Ridge?
Eagle Ridge? Eagle something's right there.
Yeah, I think it's like Harriman and
Yeah.
Yeah, Harriman, and what's the
Bluffdale.
Daybreak, Bluffdale, all of
Yeah.
that shit out there now. So there's tons of new housing developments out there. You know, Salt Lake is just spreading like Phoenix, and the prison is so old and they need to increase its size. You know, they're packed all the time, which is a wholly separate issue. Like, they shouldn't have that many people locked away in the first place, but because they need newer and larger facilities for these
to
inmates.
make more money.
Yeah. And the big contention was, okay, if we close the prison, can we get enough money out of the sale of the property to
build,
developers in order to pay for a new prison?
Which is impossible.
And they can't get that much money, because a new prison facility is going to be a lot more than they can sell the land for, because nobody's going to want to buy the prison and rent it out as a hotel or anything like that, right?
You never know.
They're going to tear it all down and then develop the land where the prison now stands.
People open some weird hotels, some weird eateries. I mean, imagine the prison cafe.
Yeah.
Eat in the cell that so-and-so stayed in. The guy that raped 50 women. I don't know.
Yeah.
People have there's some weird shit people do.
But so that was, you know, they did all these studies and we're like, oh, we're only move the prison if we can actually make this a revenue neutral thing or actually make money doing it. Of course they couldn't, and they're like, oh, fuck it, we need to do it anyway. So yeah, they're going to be building out west of Salt Lake City, like out by the airport area.
Where that's going to blow up here now.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course it is. And they're basically building a whole new airport too. I don't know if you guys have seen the plans or news about that, but that's all being changed and new development around there.
They should just build a new prison near one of the impact ranges out in the desert.
Why?
Because that way, if the prisoners escape, they're in an impact range. Like, oh, fuck, I'm in a bombing range.
Not a great idea to be out running around.
Nope.
Yeah, it was weird, man. Like I said, they've just it looks like they've just added on different areas as they've needed them. The first death row area is now not even used at all. It was just 4 little cells with a master control. They've got one old section of the prison that is 4 floors. Like, it reminds you of the stereotypical
like
old, like
Alcatraz.
This is how a prison is kind of thing. Yeah. Like, it's 4 tiered floors of just cages of people. And that's where I met Dan Lafferty. Well, I didn't introduce myself or anything.
You didn't shake hands.
Right. So, yeah. So we walk in and it's this long hallway with all of the cells on one side, and then they've got this long hallway with tables and stuff that's basically their common area. So we walk into that block, and we walked, you know, we kind of stopped as we all gathered in the block at the entrance, and the guards kind of tell us a little bit about it and everything. And the one guard is like, oh yeah, Dan Lafferty, you guys know who that is? And I was like, oh yeah. He's like, well, he's on the block here. And he said,
who is that?
He's featured, he and his brother Ron were featured in, John Krakauer's book, Under the Banner of Heaven. They committed some religiously motivated murders in I want to say the mid to late 80s.
Huh.
I believe Ron Lafferty is the one who came up with the plan to kill this woman and her daughter. And Dan is the one who actually killed the daughter. He sliced her throat open. So he got so Dan is the one who did the killing of the little girl. Ron is the one who came up with the plan and talked Dan into doing it. So Ron got the death penalty. Dan ended up getting life in prison. So he's there for the rest of his life. But so we walk in, we all gather in this little area. We start walking down the hallway, or we're gathered in this area, and the guard is telling us all about it and says, oh yeah, you'll notice because they've got little pieces of cardboard that they'll put at the bottom of their doors to keep out dust bunnies. Apparently the air inside the prison is fucking terrible. They don't have like central air or anything like that. It's all old radiated. It's all radiant heat.
Yeah.
And in the summer, they use swamp coolers to try to cool it down. But the air inside is just fucking terrible. So they put like pieces of cardboard or they'll stuff towels under their door to try to keep dust bunnies and just shit out of their cells all night. He said, so you'll notice his cell because he's got a piece of cardboard that says laugh on it. It's just LAFF. I think it might have been doubled like laugh or something. So anyway, we walk past and I look over and I see him sitting on his bunk, and these cells are tiny. They're not 8x8. They're like 6x6, maybe. I wouldn't sleep with like 7-foot ceilings at the most, I think, probably like tiny little places. And so we go walking past, and I just happen to look over into his cell and see that he's got this long fucking gray beard that he's braided, and his braid is like 18 inches long. And I was like, oh, that's kind of impressive as I walked past. And he looked over and saw me and just kind of nodded as I walked past, like, hey. And so we walked down to the end of the block and kind of chat for a little bit more. And then we're walking back. And as we walked past his cell, I glanced in again. He's like, hey, nice beard. And I said, oh, thanks. You like your braid too. And he's like, yeah, thanks, man. And I was just like, that's fucking weird, man. That's something.
You got complimented by a murderer.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a famous, infamous murderer.
I mean, with the red hair coming out of your beard, it kind of looks like a slash neck.
Oh God. That's bad, Ryan. But yeah, that was just weird and interesting. But yeah, it was an interesting tour. So thanks, Jake. I really appreciate it. That's something I'm sure I'll always remember.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we went out for dinner and chatted and stuff and heard some other interesting stories about life as a prison guard and what inmates do to each other and to the guards, and just some of the weird things that go on. Yeah.
Like rape.
Prison rape is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible thing.
Indeed.
But yeah, so let's talk about some other stuff.
Yay!
Okay.
That was happy.
Hi, this is Dr. Hector Garcia, author of Alpha God, and you are listening to Godless Revolution.
And so what concerns me now is, even if you're as brilliant as Newton, you reach a point where you start basking in the majesty of God, and then your discovery stops. It just stops. You're kind of no good anymore for advancing that frontier, waiting for somebody else to come behind you who doesn't have God on the brain, and who says, that's a really cool problem, I want to solve it. They come in and solve it. But look at the time delay. This was a 100-year time delay. And the math that's in perturbation theory is like crumbs for Newton. He could have come up with that. The guy invented calculus just on a dare, practically. When someone asked him, Ike, how come planets orbit in ellipses and not some other shape? And he couldn't answer that. He goes home for 2 months, comes back, out comes integral differential calculus, because he needed that to answer that question. And so this is the kind of mind we were dealing with Newton. He could have gone there, but he didn't. He didn't. His religiosity stopped him. And so we're left with the realization, of course, that intelligent design, while real in the history of science, while real in the presence of sort of philosophical drivers, is nonetheless a philosophy of ignorance. And so, regardless of what our political agenda is, all you have to say is, science is a philosophy of discovery, intelligent design is a philosophy of ignorance. That's all. I don't need to see have you discovered anything lately? If not, get out of the science classroom.
Rejoining the Godless Revolution podcast now.
What have you brought for us to speak about this evening, Mr. Machu?
Mr. Machu?
It's like a Mr. Magoo thing, but not really, I guess.
As long as we're making stuff up, that's Dr. Machu. I didn't spend 6 years in fake medical school for nothing. Washington Post. A Florida school says it will likely discipline a white high school student after a photo of him posing with a racist prom invitation drew wide attention on social media over the weekend. Last weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
The student, who officials confirm is 18-year-old Noah Crowley, was seen holding up a sign with a message asking another student to prom that said, quote, "If I was black, I'd be picking cotton, but I'm white, so I'm picking you for prom?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where was this again?
Florida.
Oh, my.
It was not immediately clear who posted the photograph to the social media service. The story generated anger on social media and found traction on Google News after being covered by national media outlets such as HuffPo and New York Daily News, drawing a surge of attention to Riverview High School, a public school of 2,600 students in Sarasota. Tracy Beaker, a spokeswoman for the school district, said that the high school senior will more than likely face disciplinary measures. This incident is a gray area, she told the Washington Post, but there has been disruption at the school due to his actions.
It seems like a pretty black and white issue to me.
Me too. That they can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Wow.
That's the black and white issue, right?
Yeah.
The public school can't do shit about it.
Well, and that it's actually an issue about blacks and whites.
You're taking the pun angle. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll all just make light of race and inequality in this country.
Yeah, I'm an entitled
You're
white
the same as this guy. Social media policies. She just social media. I don't know what that sentence means. Use of personal technology may violate its policies if school authorities reasonably believe the conduct or speech has caused or will cause actual material disruption of school activities or a staff member's ability to perform his or her job duties. So I guess that's the angle they're taking it.
Is a disruption.
Yeah, rather than it being a First Amendment issue, because clearly a public school is an entity of the government, can't do shit about free speech.
He's got free speech, but he's got doesn't mean there's no repercussion of your speech.
In this sense, there can't be. Because this is the literal sense of what free speech means. That the government can't impose punishments for your free speech.
Mm-hmm.
And the school would be acting as a government entity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow.
Well, then why can't I go up to a teacher and go, "Hey, teacher, I'd gladly like to say fuck you." But then I get detention.
You can.
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want. But, yeah. This is a sticky one. Mm. Well, I mean, clearly what he said is shitty.
Yeah.
The school
obviously.
The school can't say, "Hey, we're going to
that.
censure you because you said something."
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't actually do anything. He just had a really shitty, ignorant asshole sign.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So it looks like they're taking the angle that the disruption that it caused would be enough to penalize for without impinging on his First Amendment rights, I guess. It also notes that using profanity, obscenity, epithets, or other language that violates generally accepted norms of appropriate public discourse is prohibited. So there is that part of it.
I think you could fall into that.
Right. And then there's the other issue that he was off campus.
Mm-hmm.
So high school students do have free speech rights, which are typically stronger in off-campus contexts than on campus or at school events, said Fred Smith Jr., an associate professor of law at Emory University. Students have free speech rights when they're on campus, but they're much greater when they're off campus. Just like the rest of us, students have the ability to say things that are offensive. And the reason why we have free speech is to protect unpopular views. That's why it's there. Given that he was off the school campus, the mere fact that his speech was offensive would strike me as an insufficient basis for the school to punish him.
Well, it's kind of like workers that get punished by their employers for something they did off work. Like, "Hey, I don't like that tweet you put out. You're fired."
Well, but that's a totally different situation as well.
It is,
like,
but
you're employed through this business or company.
But you're not representing them. If you're not representing the company, and they can, it's like, "Oh, yeah, well, you're fired. We don't like the way you're."
But we don't have a constitutional right to be able to
have a job.
Yeah, be able to work.
Depends on the state you're in, I guess. 'Cause like Utah's a right to work state.
No, the Constitution covers all the states.
Yeah.
No, but certain states are right to work states, and certain states are like, no, you can't just fire an employee because you don't like them.
Yeah, but it's different than a free speech issue.
Yeah.
Because that's constitutionally protected from the government. And working isn't.
Yeah.
Crowley apologized on social media on Sunday, according to WTSP, and his statement was released Tuesday by a public relations firm hired by his family. So his apology was released by a public relations firm.
written
I'm
by
sure
them.
it was very, very heartfelt.
Quote, I want to sincerely apologize if I have offended anyone.
It's not an apology.
With the picture going around. That was not my intention. It was a completely joke, and it went too far.
Well, it's not a...
That's literally how it's written. It was a completely joke.
So clearly this kid's just fucking stupid.
Is he a comedian?
And nice public relations firm. After reading the texts and Snapchats, I truly see how I have offended people, and I'm sorry. That really is a disgustingly terrible apology.
Yeah.
It's just not even...
Well,
some of the correct words are there, but like, there's nothing behind it. I mean, it's sorry you feel that way. If I offended you, like he's not even owning the fact that he said something offensive. He's still saying, well, if you were offended, I'm sorry, but.
Imagine if this apology came out of West Virginia.
Yeah, well, and so you throw the word if in there, and it's like, okay, well, what if somebody hadn't been offended? Do you think that speech would still, do you think your actions would still be okay?
Yeah, right.
Like, that's only not okay because people took offense to it.
Right.
No, you did a shitty fucking thing. Regardless of whether anybody took offense to it or not, it's a shitty thing that you should apologize for.
Yeah.
Well, with our current administration, I can see people like, well, some people weren't offended.
Well, sure, but that's a whole other bag of nuts.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Fucking Florida.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Florida. It seems like the more I learn about Florida, the more I don't want to go to Florida.
I've only been there once and I hated every minute of it.
Yeah. I've been to Florida once also, and I had a good time. I golfed and had fun, but I can't see any reason why I would go.
Did you go to Mar-a-Lago
again? No, I did not. No, I didn't go to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I did chem warfare training by Panama Beach.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, we were
in like July.
Yeah, we were at Panama City.
Yeah.
Doing training there.
I could see the ocean through the trees while I was masked up in 5 layers of clothing and 100-degree heat and 90% humidity going, fuck this.
And
fuck this.
I was on a semi-private course where during the off season 15 years ago, it was like $120 to play 18 holes. On the off season for me to play there. Like in today's money, that would be much more, but it was the kind of golf course where you show up, like you pull your car into their little drive-through thing and they have a valet come out, open the door for you, get you out of the car, take your keys, open the trunk, pull your golf clubs out, put them on the cart, clean your clubs while you're standing there before you go out.
So you're probably not allowed to touch your clubs either.
No, so the other cool thing was that
touching your clubs in public.
You don't have to
get a little boy to do that for you.
You didn't have to fix your own divots on the course. You didn't have to rake the sand traps if you were in it. They have a guy come out behind you, fix your divots, rake sand traps. Like you just play golf. That's it. That's all you do. That was kind of cool. And then
man, how do I get that job?
Well, and then they
no, I mean the guy that comes behind everybody.
Oh yeah. Well, and then they give you like in golf carts, there's cup holders with little holes for tees, and there's a thing for balls and everything. And there,
like iced tea?
No, like tees to tee up your ball. But so there, at regular public courses, those things are empty. It's for you to put your own tees in, your own balls in. There, it's all just loaded. Like there was water in the cart. We had a little cooler. They have somebody come out and ask for drink orders. It was, they give you golf balls and tees, and there was towels hanging up. It was fucking awesome, man. That was one of the coolest rounds of golf I've ever played.
Sounds cool.
I've only golfed at municipal golf courses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was super nice. It was really cool. Anyway, I'm sorry. So what else you got for us?
This one is interesting. Visitors to the new National Memorial for Peace and Justice first glimpsed them eerily in the distance. Brown rectangular slabs, 800 inches all.
Huh?
What?
Inscribed with the names of more than 4,000 souls who lost their lives in lynchings between 1877 and 1950. Each pillar is 6 feet tall and made of steel that weathers to different shades of brown. Viewers enter at eye level with the monuments, allowing a view of victims' names and the date and place of their slaying. As visitors descend downward on the slanted wooden plank floor, the slabs seemingly rise above them, suspended in the air in long corridors, evoking the image of rows of hanging brown bodies.
The photographs of the place, they actually looked quite interesting. I thought it was a kind of a neat artistic thing to do with having them being suspended like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like what place are you talking about? I feel like I've missed that.
It's
somehow.
the National Memorial for Peace and Justice.
Oh, okay.
Did you say
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
It's all good.
I mean, all the people that were hung by
They were lynched
racist assholes.
Yeah.
Wow.
The memorial and an accompanying museum that opened this week in Montgomery, Alabama, are a project of the nonprofit Equal Justice Initiative, a legal advocacy group in Montgomery. The organization says the two sites will be the nation's first comprehensive memorial dedicated to racial terror, lynchings of African Americans, and the legacy of slavery and racial inequality in America. This is one column for each of the 800 U.S. counties where researchers uncovered lynchings. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Most of the roughly 4,400 killings happened in the South, but states coast to coast are represented. Brian Stevenson, the founder of the Equal Justice Initiative, said he wanted to create a space for people to confront and deal honestly with this history. Just as South Africa has sites about apartheid and Germany memorializes victims of the Holocaust. We don't have many places in America where we have urged people to look at the history of racial inequality, to look at the history of slavery, of lynching, of segregation, said Stevenson, who is black. The memorial opens the same week that Alabama marks Confederate Memorial Day, an official state holiday in which state offices will close. For Confederate Memorial, I can't fucking believe they still do this shit in the South.
Wow.
Well, did you see the Vice News segment where they're talking with that family down in the South, and they're talking about it's our heritage to fly the Confederate flag. We don't see it as being racist. Well, they got little black dolls on their porch that are being with nooses on them and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not racist.
It's not racist. It's just fun. We're just having fun.
It's just tradition to treat the black people like,
but the lady that's interviewing them says, well, you know who won the Civil War, right? He goes, yeah, sure I do. The South won. She's like,
what?
No, they didn't. You lost.
They actually thought that the South won the war?
This guy said the South won the war. It's like, of course the South won. That's why we're celebrating. That's why we have the Confederate flag. It's like, oh my fucking dumb.
Wow. And the other thing is that's the region of the United States where they're all, excuse me, they're like America and, stars and stripes. Which is it? Which one is it?
Do you want
is
the one
it
that
America,
tried
or
to fight
it,
against the United States, or
right,
the one that represents the United States?
Is it the United States or the Confederate States?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, if you want to take off and make your own country, what fucking land are you going to use?
We'll give them Texas.
You can't just take U.S. property. You know what I mean? Without the U.S. government approving it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want a war for it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just leave and take our shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave, and I'm taking this tennis racket and this lamp. That's all I need.
And this Alabama.
Yeah. That's a good movie.
Oh wait, what movie is that?
I was born a poor black child.
Oh.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
The first installation visitors see up close comprises statues of 6 slaves with chains around their necks, lash marks on their backs. A mother, face twisted in horror, cradles an infant in one arm and stretches out her other hand, reaching for something or someone outside her grasp. Beyond the sculptures are the monuments to those who lost their lives to racial terror, lynchings after the Civil War. A section of epitaphs gives the brief story behind some of the names. Fred Rochelle, 16. was burned alive in a public spectacle lynching before thousands in Polk County, Florida in 1901.
Jesus.
David Walker, his wife, and their 4 children were lynched in Hickman, Kentucky, 1908, after Mr. Walker was accused of using inappropriate language with a white woman.
Yeah.
So we're going to kill your wife and your kids also.
Yep. Caldwell Washington, 23, was found hanging from a tree in 1933 in what authorities in Taylor, Texas, first called a suicide. But family members and supporters say the findings overlooked a key fact. His hands were tied behind his back. Washington's granddaughter, Johnny Patterson, said that the family was gratified to learn that Washington's name was included on the memorial as a lynching victim. The museum explores the eras of enslavement, lynching, Jim Crow, to mass incarceration and modern criminal justice issues that are the focus of the Equal Justice Initiative's legal work. Several of the organization's clients are featured, including Ray Hinton, a man whose conviction was overturned after 30 years on Alabama's death row. No doubt something Jeff Sessions had part in.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Stevenson, who works with death row inmates, has had judges presume he is a defendant when he sits at the defense table. He doesn't believe that slavery disappeared, but evolved. He said what he means by that is the myth of white supremacy that was created to justify slavery didn't disappear in 1865. No, it didn't. Stevenson said Monday that he expects that some people will be uncomfortable by the new museum and memorial, noting the organization got pushback a few years ago when they erected the first historical markers in downtown Montgomery to mark the sites of slave markets. Pushback even on that. I think there is a better America still waiting. There is a more just America still waiting. There is a kind of community that we haven't achieved yet, but we can't achieve it if we're unwilling to tell the truth about our past.
Yeah. And I saw some
Pretty
shitty comments online from people
Shocker.
talking about that. Like, why do we even need a thing like this? This shouldn't even be up there. Like, we should just like let this go type of stuff. It's like, no.
Why are we
motherfuckers.
reliving these harmful memories? So we don't repeat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
well, it's that same bullshit too, right? It's like none of my ancestors had slaves and nobody that's alive now ever was a slave. Get over it.
Well, in Germany, I saw this in a documentary where along the streets, you'll be able to see little bricks laid out that has a person's name and a date on it. And what that is, it's the name of a Jewish person that lived at that house, and the date they lived in the house from the date they're taken from that house and taken to a concentration camp and killed.
What are you talking about, Ryan? That never happened.
Yeah, it did.
Are you sure?
Even Germany is willing to say, hey, look, we did this, and here are markers to mark these people and where they should have lived and stayed, and you shouldn't have taken them from their homes and executed them. And some of them even had like stories on the walls, like of the shops and of the actual families would actually put a placard on the wall saying this is where so-and-so lived with their kids. They were taken to this camp. They were, exterminated on this date.
God, can you imagine living through those times? That's just the daily horror that you would be facing and the fear you would face day in and day out, all day long, every fucking day through that whole period.
And then to have people who know nothing about any of those horrors and nightmares that you lived through say that none of that ever happened, actually. Yeah. And that even the most sympathetic of people in the future give you a little fucking Jew brick.
Well, yeah. Well, but then the other thing too is when you get everybody that says, well, Hitler took the guns from the Jews, so we don't want that to happen. So that's how it happened.
Yeah.
But what they forget, it's called the Night of the Broken Windows, as I think is what it was called, where a bunch of Jews revolted against the German army and tried to go and kill a bunch of them and have a little bit of a revolt. Well, that revolt didn't go so well. So the German citizens and the military went and smashed all the windows out of all the Jewish shops in their homes and took them out in the streets and started killing them.
Jesus.
And that's why guns don't play a role in the fucking taking away guns of the Jews in World War II. Because they had guns. They tried to revolt, but the numbers were way against them.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
So that argument's gone.
I can't imagine what it would be like to actually live through that shit. That's one of the things that I like about really terrible movies like Red Dawn and everything is that it gives you a little bit of a glimpse into like, we're fat, stupid Americans who, like, we've never had to deal with an enemy force invading our country and trying to suppress us through violent military means. Like, that just doesn't fucking happen here.
We got oceans.
Yeah, that's part of it. I mean,
just so to see, like, on the big screen, this imagery of, planes from another fucking country flying overhead, dropping bombs, dropping people running through neighborhoods, killing people. Like, that's fucking terrifying. That's a nightmare scenario. And people people not in the United States, people in other countries have to deal with that all the fucking time.
From the
United States. Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
Right now.
I can't imagine that. It's honestly something that I can't really even imagine. How would that happen, and how would we react
it's
to
like,
it?
Well, we'll know about it soon enough if Pence gets to be president.
Did you watch the documentary White Hats?
No.
It's about the medics in Syria that are going in and pulling people out of these buildings that have been bombed. 'Cause a lot of them can't leave. They don't have the means to leave, and there's just a war going on around them. Even one of the guys in the thing was saying, goes like, I tried to leave, but my daughter is disabled. She can't walk. I don't have a wheelchair. So we just have to stay here and just endure the bombings.
Oh, excuses.
Well, and it pisses me off when you get people like Trump and a bunch of the other conservatives who don't want to allow in any refugees from any of the wars or anything. And, well, they could be bad people, and they need to take care of their own shit. And it's like, they can't, not everybody can. Like, it's a lack of imagination and empathy for people that they don't know, and they can't imagine how horrific their lives are, or they can, which I don't think they can.
No.
But, or they can and do and just don't give a fuck.
Care. Well, here's the thing, Trump and fucking Republicans. We're the bad guy.
Are we the baddies?
Yeah. It's like if you keep building a house and I keep destroying your house, then you complain that you're homeless. I'm like, well, why the fuck are you homeless?
Yeah.
Why the fuck just go get a house?
Yeah.
But I keep destroying your house.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You can just go and do it.
Yeah, this guy did it. He's got a house.
Shit, I guess I have to move now. No, you can't move.
Yeah.
You can't come here.
Right here.
Yeah, can't come here, and we don't know if you're a good or bad person. Well, if I was a bad person, I'd probably be staying there and fighting on that side, right? I wouldn't be trying to leave and seek political asylum somewhere else.
Maybe it's self-preservation. Maybe they're like, fuck, dude, after all the fucking nasty bullshit we've done to those people, they have to want to kill us. Like, if they wouldn't be
Can't
human.
really blame them.
Yeah, if they wouldn't be human if they didn't want to come over here and kill me. So we cannot let them in.
Yeah.
No way. Cause
it's like the capital punishment thing. Yeah, their emotions take over. Like, you fuckers killed my whole family with bombs and fucking drones, and you didn't even put troops in the ground. You just bombed the shit out of us and flew drones over. We didn't even have a chance to fight back against that shit.
Yeah, that part's shitty too.
Yeah.
This is a happy show.
Yay!
I'm Bryce Barkenagel. Have you ever wondered if Joseph Smith was drugging the early Mormons? Turns out it might be possible when you have a fantastic congregation that is witnessing angels floating around in the rafters and think that the temple is on fire and they're running out in the snow and writhing around on the ground naked. Yeah, as it turns out, drugs might be the best explanation. Be sure to check out my Sunstone Symposium presentation on the Joseph Smith entheogen theory by punching that into any YouTube browser. And thank you so much for checking that out, and be sure to check out the Naked Mormonism podcast. This is the Godless Revolution.
To be an atheist, you have to believe that it is possible, which I think is a far greater leap of faith. That's something that can be created out of nothing. When you look at the majesty and sophistication and the intricacy of the universe that we do know and comprehend, you have to believe that somehow that this energy could have existed on its own, and I do not believe that is. That, to me, is a leap of faith.
You give me the awful impression, I hate to have to say it, of someone who hasn't read any of the arguments against your position ever.
Thank you to everybody who has rated the show on iTunes and Stitcher and are following us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And to all our Patreon patrons, you make the show possible.
We're going to mix things up a little bit. And thank our Patreon supporters right now.
Right fucking now.
We're gonna change things up every now and then. Sometimes we'll do it at the beginning. Sometimes we'll do it at the end. You never know. It's just gonna sneak up on you.
We're like ninjas.
Think we're gonna zig and then we zag.
But I wanted to thank first our Patreon subscribers. That would be Vanessa,
Rob Otto,
Michelle Short,
Christy Kalbach,
Numania,
Alan Firth. I just stomped all over you. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I don't mind that once in a while.
I'm just like, I'm ready to read names.
Gaytheist? Oh, you meant about reading names. Larry Wilson.
Is it my turn again?
Yeah. Okay. Come on, Eager Beaver.
Dr. Dan, Matt's boss from the 2SC podcast, to whom we pledge loyalty.
Let them eat covfefe.
Stephen Andrews. We're all fucked up.
Well, you didn't do anything, so I read it.
Yeah, I got confused.
Did you say Stephen Andrews already?
I did.
Oh, man, we're all fucked up. Jeff Peterson.
Janet Uter.
Who increased her Patreon support.
Thank you very much,
Janet.
Marius Kot-Buchakowski.
Utah Outcasts.
Tim Jacobson.
Matt Tuller.
Megan Kennedy.
Andrew Vonopich.
Brandy Hamrick.
Jeremy Goodson.
Angelica Pearson.
Wesley Aaron.
Savita Kuna.
Purple Dragon.
And Taylor Grin.
Thank you all very much.
Are you circle blind as well?
I wasn't paying close enough attention to what's going on. I guess I'm just reading names.
What one link breaks and it all gets fucked up.
I am the weakest link. You're welcome.
More of a triangle, really.
Yeah, I guess so. What else you got for us, Matt?
This is from Reuters. Which was written before Trump gave his speech to the NRA, but still applies because they got it all just right.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump, who briefly pledged to fight the National Rifle Association after the February mass shooting at a Florida high school, is expected to flip completely and throw his full weight behind the powerful gun rights group at an event in Dallas, which he did.
Of course he did.
In addressing the gun lobbying group's annual convention, the president will emphasize his support for gun rights in political terms, which he did, likely claiming again that Democrats want to take away America's firearms, which he did.
Mm-hmm.
This will be Trump's fourth speech to the NRA, and with control of the U.S. Congress up for grabs in November's midterm elections, the campaign is underway. It's expected to include familiar warnings meant to excite the Republican voter base. The massacre that killed 17 people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida on February 14th seemed to mark a turning point in America's long-running gun debate, sparking a youth-led movement for tighter gun control. Days after the shooting, Trump promised action on gun regulation and at a gathering of state officials said this of the NRA, quote, "We have to fight them every once in a while." A real powerful statement. Since then, no major new federal gun controls have been imposed, although the administration is pursuing a proposed regulatory ban on bump stocks of the sort used in an October 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas that killed 59 fucking people. Since Parkland, Trump has largely moved his rhetoric back in line with the NRA, which endorsed him in the 2016 election and has given him financial backing. A Reuters poll found in March 2018 that 54% of adults wanted strong regulations or restrictions for firearms. That was up from 39% in a similar poll in April 2012. Among Republicans in the poll, 40% wanted strong regulations or restrictions in March 2018, up from 22% in April 2012. Trump met with NRA officials privately at the White House twice in February as he mulled policy responses to the shooting. He eventually endorsed an NRA proposal to arm teachers, a step the group said would help prevent mass school shootings.
Yeah.
Gun control activists generally oppose that idea and leave many people asking the obvious questions. If we arm teachers, will librarians get silencers?
That guy was a good one.
Trump initially expressed enthusiasm for measures to close loopholes for gun buyers seeking to avoid the background check system, raise the age limit for buying rifles, and find ways to seize guns temporarily from people reported to be dangerous. How the fuck is that going to work?
Yeah, how do you determine who's going to be dangerous? Well, we talked about this a little bit before show, right? Like, they have this, so the Republicans are trying to run this narrative that, oh, well, we just need more good guys with guns, right? But,
yeah.
So, and then they also simultaneously push this whole narrative of, well, it's just, guns aren't the problem. It's, people with these mental health issues. Okay. But so do you think that they've always had these mental health issues and were somehow able to get guns that they shouldn't have had? Or were they perfectly fine and stable and they got guns and then they snapped? They had some mental break and then they decided to kill people. And if that's the case, why the fuck would you give teachers at a school access to guns to mow down children if they snap? That's fucking stupid. You can't have it both ways. It's got to be one or the other.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I think both of you said before the show that, I'm a responsible gun owner until I'm not.
Right.
You know, and that's true of everyone.
Yeah. Every fucking person who's done this.
How many videos have you seen come out of a school where a teacher has thrown a kid to the ground or physically hit a kid because they didn't like the way the kid was talking or lipping off? Now give the teacher a gun.
Yeah.
Just imagine the teacher in the front of the class, a classroom's out of control or whatever, and they pull a fucking gun in the classroom.
I'm going to go way out on a limb here because I'm the extreme guy on the show, but I don't think that we're at a place in this country where we're ready to start dealing out labels to citizens like dangerous or mentally incapable of having a gun when we know full well that it's going to be brown and black people that get those labels almost primarily.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that seems obvious, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just will, by using language like this, we'll just make sure that, the less dangerous white people will have guns, because so far, no white people have committed any of the mass shootings. Well, that doesn't really work, but you get my point. Remember Omar Mateen? Remember,
and they're all Democrats too. Remember that?
Yeah.
Paid by George Soros.
Yeah. George Soros bought those blood bullets.
Trump has since endorsed more modest proposals, such as legislation aimed at providing more data for the background check system. He did not endorse closing a loophole in existing law that would require background checks for guns bought at gun shows or sales arranged over the internet. So nothing whatsoever. And it's all stupid too, right? Like, I mean, an analogy would be that, if people in the NFL are getting an unnecessary and unhealthy amount of concussions over their life and their career, which they are, from even linemen, from all these mini collisions that they're having constantly with the defensive line and all that.
Fucking soccer players. They're talking about soccer players who hit the ball a lot.
Oh, maybe that
they end up the same thing.
Yeah. And so obviously, you can continue to make new rules, like no spearing, no helmet to helmet, no shoulder to helmet on a defenseless receiver. You could say no heading the ball in soccer, all that stuff, but that's still not going to be as effective as making football illegal.
Right.
If you stop playing the game, nobody gets those concussions from the game.
Right.
They're still going to find ways to get concussions. Yes, they will, but it'll be from other things, right? If you want to truly be effective at not getting people concussions in football, you ban football.
Mm-hmm.
So anything else you do, like, then we'll get rid of bump stocks. Okay, that's the same as just saying, well, you can't hit them helmet to helmet. Well, guess what? They still fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? People get concussions other ways in football. The only effective way to do it is to make football illegal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or fundamentally change how the game is played. That they don't wear helmets and pads and everything. You turn it into flag football or touch football or some shit like that, where there is no hitting of somebody else. There is no tackling of somebody else.
It's severely regulated.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm just talking in terms of being most effective.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely.
But what they're talking about is we need more helmet to helmet hits.
Yeah, but
look to have fewer concussions. That's what the right is saying.
You can buy guns in Canada. How many shootings do they have a year?
I have no idea.
I never hear about a shooting from fucking Canada.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough analogy because they have 14 people.
But
well, and I have no idea what their regulations and rules on guns are.
Yeah, that too.
They're very regulated.
Yeah,
registered. Yeah. Certain weapons like AR-15s or AKs or those kind of weapons have to be handed down through family members. If you die and you don't have anyone to hand that down to, it gets melted down. But as far as like hunting weapons, all that kind of stuff, you can go to the store and buy whatever you want.
Yeah. I'm guessing a background check, and they track all that. They probably have
you're registered,
a national registry.
Yep. It's very regulated.
Yeah.
Is it harder to get a gun in Canada? Yeah. But how often do you hear about someone going on a killing spree in Canada?
Well, and why the fuck why do people have such a hard on about we have to have such easy access to these weapons or these machines of death?
Second Amendment.
Canada has a population density of less than 4 people per square kilometer.
Well, that's if you include if you include the Northern Territory, which is nobody lives there.
Yeah. Yeah,
you
but
could probably say Utah's the same.
Yeah.
Because,
I bet Utah's higher than that.
There's only 15% of the state that's occupied by people.
I think Utah has 3.5 or 3.8 million people. The entire state of Utah has less population than some major cities.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Utah's 1,666 people per square mile.
Okay.
So it's considerably higher.
Yeah, you are correct.
But yeah, I don't understand why. So let's say that you're a big proponent of the Second Amendment. You want to be able to have your guns and everything,
and eat them too.
Why are they so dead set against any type of regulation in order to maintain their right to have these weapons?
Because they think that regulation is part of shall not be infringed.
But it is already. It is. They already agree that not everybody should have access to fucking flamethrowers and rocket-propelled grenades.
And certain people in the populace are already not allowed to have firearms.
Well, yeah,
but they just don't want their right to be infringed.
If they want to focus on that little part of it, then why don't we focus on the well-regulated part? Because that's also in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so now how do we balance that?
Oh, but then they also twist it to go, well-regulated militias, everybody is part of the militia. All non-military people are
bullshit.
part of the militia.
I'll say bullshit. I think it's only the military.
Yeah. Even then, if they want to say that everybody's part of the militia, they're also denying the whole well-regulated part.
Yeah.
They don't want any more regulations.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Would assume that their
it works with that mustache.
It does. It's very devilish. Their self-regulation is regulation enough.
Obviously not.
No.
I like I said, I don't understand why they fight tooth and nail against any kind of new regulation on being allowed access to
because
these
it's the only
machines.
thing they have left to hold on to. Gays can get married now. You have to bake them cakes. Blacks are allowed to go wherever the fuck they want. We're allowing Mexicans across the border.
Lunch counter with me. God damn it.
Yeah. So they've lost everything else they can be racist and bigoted over. So now they're keeping on to their fucking guns.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that some part of it is a mindset. It's a fearful mindset. It's this paranoia that also leads. I mean, it also leads to the tribalism, the xenophobia, the racism.
Well, it's the apocalypse mindset
too. Fear of the other. Yeah, fear of the apocalypse. Fear of the government. You know what? How am I going to protect myself? How am I going to protect my land? How am I going to protect my family? And if the big bad government and all the big bad liberals want to come take my guns, that's the only thing I have left to protect myself from all the other things I'm so afraid of, which is going to leave me totally wide open to all of my other fears, and then it's over. Everything's over at that point.
Yeah,
once you take guns, everything's gone.
Yeah,
it's all over.
And you know what's interesting about that too is that you'd say, you know, well, we want to regulate your guns or make it so that you can't have certain types of weapons or whatever. And they say, well, guns aren't the problem. I mean, you could kill somebody just as easily with a hammer or a baseball bat or a knife or whatever. It's like, okay, well then why can't you protect yourself just as easily with a hammer or a baseball bat or a fucking knife?
Great
Give
point.
me a fucking break, man. Fucking, you can't say this thing and maintain this thing over here as well. Like, you're being fucking inconsistent.
Yeah.
And it's all boils down to they're afraid of a slippery slope, and they're just basically afraid. They're afraid of a slippery slope where they're not going to have any guns at all. They're afraid of people breaking into their house. They're afraid of the government doing something to try to take over the government, I guess.
Yeah. Which is fucking, I love that people are like, well, I'm here to defend us in case our country goes rogue type thing. It's like, yeah, let's
okay, Billy Badass.
Right. Let's see you take that 223 and knock down a Predator drone at 30,000 feet, dropping a fucking hellfire on your head.
Right, but I support the troops way harder than you.
Yeah.
But if they show up, I'll fucking mow them down in a second. But I support them more hard than you do.
I did see a truck yesterday in West Valley that said it had the big sticker on the back with an AR-15 underneath it. It said, "Come and get it." I'm like, that'd be really funny if I saw that in a parking lot and I just peeled off the AR-15. I'm like, I got it. He said, "Come and get it." I took it.
Your message was totally unclear. If this isn't what you wanted me to do, then I'm not sure why you had
and
this
then
thing.
replace it with a big old dildo sticker.
Yeah, I don't understand the worship of guns and why people are so fucking terrified of everything. Like, I'm not afraid of my neighbors or somebody coming to rob me or of the government installing or instituting martial law and saying that, I can't go where I want to go and do what I want to do and turning into a police state and shit.
The people that are afraid of martial law are basically want to institute martial law in fucking schools.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Armed guards on every fucking corridor and checking IDs. I'm like, that is fucking like, that's 1984 fucking like the movie.
Yeah.
The book.
Again, we're confronted with this issue of people on the right being totally unable to turn the argument around. And George W. Bush said it the best. He summed this entire thought process up. I don't mind a dictatorship so long as I'm the decider.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're thinking. If we're in charge with the guns, that's fine. We want martial law. If we're not, then I don't want even a single regulation on what I have.
Is our country turning into an Orwellian novel?
In some ways, maybe minor.
Yeah. I think, you can always, throughout history, point to specific things that would mirror what happened in the book, but
he's got a lot of books, but 1984 is
I am
a dystopian, but
I honestly I don't think Donald Trump will finish full term.
I honestly think he might make the first 4 years just because the amount of time it takes to have an actual trial for an impeachment.
I think it's possible he could get reelected.
It's possible. Yeah,
I'm thinking his reelection.
At all probable.
I think the probability of a reelection is way down since there's a lot of people who voted for him the first time around that are changing their minds and. But Lisa Lang did a thing on her show on CNN where she went to the same town throughout for like 2 years almost before the election, during the election, and after the election. And before the election, they were all, everybody's Trump. Like overwhelmingly, the place voted Trump. Now afterwards, they're like, we think we fucked up.
Yeah, but
we think we fucked up.
But again,
maybe.
it's going to come down to, if it's Trump versus Biden, they'll vote for Trump again.
I don't think Biden's going to run.
I'm just saying if it's another candidate,
that's why
that brings up that boiling, seething hatred in the right.
Well, it's not
connected
just
to Obama, Hillary, those kinds of candidates. If it's another one of those,
but it's not just the candidates; it's the way the media treats the election.
That's part of it too, but
I think it plays a big part because the amount of visibility the candidates are getting and what stories they're actually running.
Yeah, that's part of it, but these are people who don't change their minds about things.
No, but they read a one sentence blurb on an article and don't read it, and they make a decision based off of that.
Yeah, based on Fox News
or any of the other ones.
They're not taking CNN seriously. They're not taking MSNBC seriously. So they didn't before, and they definitely don't now. They've got this whole fake news meme thing to grasp onto, and I think if another strategically poor candidate is put forward by the DNC, it's going to be a re-election for Donald Trump.
We should find out in about a year who the major candidates coming in are.
Did I say another re-election? Because that's redundant.
A re-election. Yeah.
A re-election.
Yeah, I see that Trump is probably on his way out. What is weird to me though is that I think if he goes, it may not be because of Russian collusion.
Yeah.
It'll be because of some other shady shit that he's done. It'll be obstruction of justice.
Yeah.
It's gotten to the point now where it could be that there was no Russian collusion, but that because he tried to obstruct justice even into an investigation that there might be collusion, that would be why he's put out of office.
Right, even if there isn't any. But you know how many fucking heads will roll though, like from the right, if he goes down for something if they come out and actually say, yeah, you know what, there actually wasn't any collusion, it's just that he tried to act like he was covering it up and he wasn't, and that's illegal, they're gonna freak the fuck out.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that's my biggest worry, is that if there is no collusion, when that was the impetus for having this investigation, but he's removed because of something else he's done when the investigation started because of possible collusion, that if the collusion isn't there and he's removed for something else, that then it is going to look like a witch hunt, right? Then it is going to look like, oh, well, they were just out to get him and they're going to remove him no matter what. They're going to find whatever they can to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But and that's a little terrifying because then you've got all of these dipshits who don't really follow the news, who don't really know what's going on, and think that, oh, well, the only reason that they started this whole thing in the first place was to prove collusion. There is no collusion, and they're still getting rid of him. It is a witch hunt. I'm going to fucking kill everybody.
They're going to do that anyway. Yeah. They're going to do that anyway because no matter what comes out of it, they've already made up their minds that it's bullshit. It's liberal, agenda-driven witch hunt bullshit. So no matter what comes out, that's a fucking lie. He never did that. They're dogmatic about their support for him, and nothing is going to change that. No matter what they come up, but I hope it ends up being something like that, where it ends up just like, oh, actually, you know what? You didn't do anything wrong until this thing, which you did do wrong. Now you're out, because that's the way the Republicans have been playing with the Democrats for the last 10 years. It's a different game. It's not the same game. And we like I said at the beginning, we should have been blocking every single appointment Trump tried to put through until 2020, because that's the game now. That's the game the Republicans played with Obama. And now we're just letting, like I said about Chuck Schumer, rolling over these weak ass fucking Democrats in Washington that are just letting him fill all of these federal and Supreme Court positions just because he's in there now. And that's just what we've been doing forever until Obama. And when we denied him hundreds and hundreds of appointments that should have rightfully been his. There are some that aren't getting in, but the point is, zero of those are Trump's right. Zero of those belong to the Republicans, but they're getting hundreds of these appointments.
They've been open since Obama's presidency.
Yeah, and so we should have said, oh, okay, well, they're not playing the same game anymore. We'll just block every single possible thing we can until 2020.
Well, if Trump keeps putting up his golf caddies for Supreme Court nominations, we're good to go, because people are like, you don't even know what the law is.
That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. They're dogmatic right-wing,
but they're not getting in.
Demagogues.
Like the one guy that they put
there. But enough of them are. I mean, and Gorsuch is now seated.
Well, yeah, but he had the wits. He actually knew how to do the job. But there's been plenty of people that Trump has tried to put in there that have no idea how to do these jobs. And it's funny watching their interviews. Like, do you know what this means? And talking about like case laws and that kind of thing. It's like, nope. Never heard of it.
What is a case again? And that other word you mentioned, law. What is that? What are those?
Yeah. No, I have not been to the Constitution yet, but I'll go someday. Like, no, that's how we base our laws, sir. Oh. I thought we were going on vacation.
All right, let's do something else.
This is Dr. Dan, Matt's boss from the Two Skeptical Chaps podcast, and you are listening to the Godless Revolution. Oh shit, did I say revolution? Bloody Americans fucking up the language. You can edit that, right, Spike?
It seems to me that those people who have their faith, who believe so strongly in God, if they really believe strongly their God, they believe they're right, they believe that they occupy the moral high ground, they should be only too willing to sit down and put this not to the scientific test, but to the political, moral discussion test of talking about why they believe what they believe. Are you up to the task of explaining to the rest of us who don't have your hotline to God why you're right.
If you have questions, comments, concerns, compliments, corrections, criticisms, or concepts for content, contact the show via email at godlessrevolution@gmail.com, by text or voicemail at 330-81-REBEL, or Twitter the twatter at TGR Podcast. Thank you!
I forgot to mention at the start of the show that we survived the latest Rapture.
Yay!
We survived the Rapture in order to start season 5.
Didn't he push the date back again?
I don't know. Did he? I
thought I saw something.
I didn't read any
he,
follow-up articles to see what the excuse was that the Rapture didn't happen.
Yeah, I think he pushed it back
again.
Yeah,
always with the pushing back.
I mean, he's not going to make as much money, but he should push it back 100 years.
Why?
Because he'll be dead and gone by then, and people will forget he even fucking did it. So,
well, but then he's not going. He craves the notoriety and the spotlight and the news and his followers to do what he wants them to do. And if he puts it off for 100 years, then he's not going to get people to follow his little doomsday cult.
He might be able to get more to follow it.
Because then they'd all be like, why the fuck should I follow this? I'll be dead before the end of the world comes around anyway.
But he's the one that has the knowledge.
So
you got to follow him so that way you can rise again.
Follow him for
when
what?
The rapture
because
comes.
I won't have to worry about anything. I'll already be dead. Like it's not like I need to follow him to receive his wisdom so that I can do whatever
in 100 years
before
time,
the world ends, because the world will still be spinning and going on by the time I'm dead.
Yeah, but if you don't follow him, your soul is fucked.
Oh, right. It's the eternal afterlife consequences that I should be worried about.
Once the rapture comes, you want to be raptured.
Better be right with God.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, we all survived. Yet another rapture prediction.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone die from it yet.
I think it was actually going to happen, but the Supreme Wizard wanted us to start season 5. So,
well, are we sure it didn't pull a Superman or Star Trek or Star Wars, whichever one it was? And the day got reversed. It happened. Then the day got reversed back, and everything was put back in place.
So we were talking about Steve Kuno and Joanne earlier, and that was that. So the leader of Joanne's cult said, "Oh no, it actually happened."
I can't remember. Was it Superman?
No, time folded back over.
Yeah,
and so there was a rapture and a reckoning, and it all happened. But then time reversed and came back to this point. So we don't.
So everything's exactly the same as it would have been.
Yeah,
we just don't remember it.
Yeah.
But it was hell. I was there.
I wonder which dinosaur prophet was right about that fucking last asteroid.
The end is nigh.
He would have looked like
you
a
see
genius.
T-Rex holding a little sign. The end is nigh. We're all going to die.
It's definitely got to be a velociraptor. But
a velociraptor, yes.
But still, that last one that got it right before that thing soared in.
Like,
looked like a fucking genius.
We always just miss Steve, but he was right.
Yeah.
So we haven't done any video clips on the show during the regular portion of the show for a little while. We've been doing them during the Patreon portion, and I thought, hey, we should do some for the regular portion of the show this time around.
Also,
we're just switching
T-Rexes
shit up all
can't
over.
hold signs. But
it would be a sideways.
Yeah, sideways.
They'd have to hold it. Well, they'd have a bar that they could hold, and then have like little stands on the end of each. They could do like double sign.
Yeah.
Just hold it with their little T-Rex arms. So we're going to start off this little clip bit with Brian Fisher, who says that Jewish people and other non-Christians don't have First Amendment rights. I'm guessing he's going to go with so we haven't watched this yet.
I've seen it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I shared it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm guessing that he's going to say that this is a Christian nation. Our laws are built around Christianity. And so people who aren't Christians really don't get to participate in that.
Yeah,
is that where he's going to go with
That's really close.
What the founders intended, since they were Christians, was for Christians to have the rights of the Constitution, and other people can come and assimilate into our culture, and
enjoy those same rights as long as they become Christians.
Well, he doesn't go that far.
All right, we'll see what he said.
Do you guys watch Bob's Burgers ever?
Yes.
I see little bits and pieces. Like Tracy watches it. I
like it.
I always want to call
my schedule is limited to where I can watch a certain amount of shows, and there's a bunch that I would like to watch, but I don't get to. But
right. I always want to call him Brian Fishoder. It kind of looks like Mr. Fishoder.
Just want to finish up on our conversation about whether Wiccans, that is, worshipers of the devil.
No.
That's not what Wiccans are. And also, so I thought I need to pause this to address what the fuck
elevator
is the music
music
in the background here. Like, is that that's not something that right-wing, so this comes to us from Right Wing Watch, but that's not something they added to this video. That's from playing in his studio for his show.
It's like fucking ska.
Followers of witchcraft, whether they have First Amendment rights under our Constitution.
Yes.
And the answer is that they do not.
How can that be?
You're not a constitutional lawyer.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
The blunt, simple, direct, straightforward answer is that Wiccans do not have First Amendment rights, nor do Muslims,
nor do anybody who's not a Christian.
But this is where I go, you're really close, because he's only specifically saying the First Amendment, because the First Amendment's the only one that addresses Christianity in it.
It doesn't, though.
It doesn't.
Nor do Jews, nor do Native Americans, nor do Rastafarians, nor do any practitioners of any other religion other than Christianity. Because...
And this should be good. I'm really looking forward to the reasoning behind his deep
besides
thought.
just wishful thinking.
Yeah. It's classic Brian Fisher thinking.
Brian Fishoder?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Joseph, and again, I'm just quoting Joseph's story, so this is not my idea.
Who's he quoting?
Joseph from the Bible?
Joseph Storage? That's what it sounded like he said, is Joseph Storage.
Joseph's story, I thought he said.
Yeah, Joseph's story from the Bible.
Joseph who?
Josephine?
Joseph.
He was a slut.
Who's Joseph Fu?
Joseph Fu.
You know, the Chinese disciple.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Joseph Fu.
The China person? Was that what that guy
yeah,
that fucking
China
guy was saying
persons.
pre-show?
Yeah, that guy that nobody that's listening to this has any idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I just said China person, and now I'm going to sound like a total dick.
Yeah.
It was on
the guy from West
the
Virginia.
news
Yeah, some guy
we
from
were
West
watching.
Virginia that's running for some office.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with this idea. This is Joseph Story, the eminent historian of the First Amendment, and the
Joseph Story, who's a historian.
Maybe, I don't know. I've never heard of him. He must be a religious historian.
Yeah, probably. The only credible one.
And the Constitution. Look what the Founding Fathers were driving at here in the First Amendment. They weren't even considering Islam. They weren't even considering Judaism. They weren't even considering Native American religions. All they were dealing with, all they were considering was Christianity. So whatever the First Amendment is about, whatever protections it extends in the federal Constitution, those were just for Christianity. So,
you know what? One of the problems.
So I was pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
And I think where he's getting that from is with the
David Barton.
Not that that the government can't infringe on religious freedoms.
Mm-hmm.
Christian freedoms in this case,
which is where
clearly,
he's taking it. He's taking it as religion means Christian.
Yeah.
And since that's also in the First Amendment, but he forgets about freedom of the press and all that shit.
But Brian Fisher's the kind of guy who would scream and squall and wail about the possibility of Sharia law being instituted.
Yeah.
But he wants basically the Christian version of Sharia law.
Yeah, because, and it's exactly that. And I don't think that guys like Brian Fisher would even have a problem saying, absolutely, it's for me and not them. That's what he's doing.
That's a true,
he's saying yes.
That is what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. So it's like he's not worried at all about equality. What he's concerned with is my team gets all the power and nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, and that's all he cares about. Mm-hmm. And part of the problem, and it hit me right when he said that what the founding fathers are driving at.
Yeah.
Well, then why didn't they say it?
Yeah.
It's because he's used to living in a world where everything is up for interpretation. They don't have any clear rules about anything in any book. So everything can be interpreted and twisted however you fucking want it to be. So
fantastic point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so his Bible, the Constitution, everything, it doesn't matter. It's me, whatever I want.
The awesome
Nobody
thing
else, I don't care.
Is there's writings by the founding fathers from later on in their lives that say, no, this was our exact intention with these amendments.
And he's totally dismissing the fact that many of the founding fathers were not religious in any sense.
They were deists at the time, which a deist at the time was equivalent to an atheist nowadays.
Some were deists, some weren't atheists.
Well, I don't think
deist is not equivalent to
no,
atheist.
but at that time, no one claimed.
It doesn't matter what time. It means a thing.
Well, it does mean a thing, but it's kind of like saying I don't know how to fucking word it. That's the way they referred to themselves. They weren't religious. They would refer to themselves as deists.
Well, some of them
were, some of them were deists. Some of them were not.
And some were Christian and some were probably atheists.
I've never seen a list of them anywhere saying where any of them has listed themselves as atheist or non-religious.
I think Ben Franklin.
I thought he listed himself as a deist.
I don't know. I don't know for sure.
But anyway, Brian Fisher's discounting that. He's discounting all of the evidence that there were even deists in the group of
they weren't all
fathers.
Christian.
Right.
Well, I guess, does he lump Baptist and Lutheran?
Yeah,
as
those
all
are
underneath
Christian.
the same Christian banner? Has it got to be specific, like Roman Catholic Christian?
Catholics used to not be. Catholics used to not be Christians.
Okay.
It was just the Protestants. So Lutheran, Methodist, Baptist,
that's why I kind of wonder, like, what is it?
But now they
his
kind of
flavor, or they kind of mulling? Yeah, because I know a lot. There were like the Baptist, Lutherans, Catholic listed as, their religions for some of the founding fathers.
I bet deep down he would say, yeah, all the founding fathers were the third, fifth Southern Baptist, just like me.
Yeah, which is kind of where I think honestly, I think he would do that.
I bet he does think that.
Yeah.
Well, and that's so atheists have given all of these other Christian denominations an enemy that they can all find common cause against, right? But before atheists were as prevalent and outspoken as we are these days, that's how we got so many different fucking Christian denominations, is because they all fucking hate each other anyway.
Yeah.
But now they have the evil, satanic atheists who they can go after. And before we were prevalent, they would just go after each other. It's always fun to get religious people arguing about points of their own doctrine because nobody fucking agrees on it. I've said it a few times on the show that you can go into a specific church, any church in the world, and start asking individuals who are sitting in the same fucking pew in that church what they believe about specific points of doctrine, and they'll all give you different answers.
Yeah. Even people who have never attended another church in their entire life.
Yep.
Only that church.
Yeah.
Will tell you different things.
Yeah. Yeah. They interpret it how they want, whatever makes them feel most comfortable.
Yeah.
Christianity. So Christianity has First Amendment rights under the federal Constitution. No other religion does.
It doesn't say that though, Brian.
It doesn't.
No. If that's what they wanted, they would have fucking said it.
Yeah. In fact, it very specifically says religious. And, to pretend that they weren't aware of other religions is absolutely, disingenuous and
ahistorical.
And nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, of course they know about,
he's forgetting the fact that every word of the Constitution is applied to every single person on American soil.
That too, yeah.
Even if you're here illegally, guess what?
You still have constitutional rights.
You still have constitutional rights.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So the core principle of the Constitution and the United States about these rights being, given to all.
Yeah. Guaranteed rights.
Is the main core of the document that he's denying.
Yeah.
And he's saying, no, in fact, what they meant was they wanted my interpretation of modern Christian dominionism. That's what they were actually trying to say.
We need to find him pleading that gays are looking for special rights than having him say that Christians have special rights.
Yeah.
Should we do Alex Jones or Jim Baker next, or Lance Wallnau?
Oh, that Alex Jones one looked interesting.
Yeah. So Alex Jones says that Trump is fighting a computer program that has decided to kill humans.
He went on a Matrix marathon.
Kill all humans.
He's got some wacky ideas.
Alex Jones thinks that we're only now getting to the Bender program.
Yeah.
Hey, Fry, want to kill all humans?
This sounds like a Matrix and meth combination.
Meth tricks? Reloaded.
Operating under is a collage of chaos tactic. So many stories that happen multiple times a day over the weeks, over the years, that you cannot focus or keep up with anything.
Information apocalypse. Information apocalypse.
100%. What Roger just did and what we do on InfoWars all the time is tied together. And
So you were right, Ryan. I'm watching this. So we took a little glimpse at this, or from the preview, you can see that there's like cell phones mounted on some kind of camera,
like a dual camera tripod dealio.
Yeah, but it was pretty clear that they were cell phones, but I wasn't sure. And Ryan said, "Oh, well, maybe it's because they're broadcasting out to like Facebook Live or whatever." And so as he's saying this, I'm watching the little screen here in front of his face, and you can see like. This is obviously Facebook because you can see the little likes and shit as they're flying past for live videos. So now I got to back it up a little bit because I wasn't paying attention to what he was saying. I'm watching these fucking cell phones in the foreground.
Matrix and meth.
And what we do on InfoWars all the time is tied together in a perpetual timeline. It's all tied together because, you can focus on one.
They want to keep you in the moment confused. I mean, that's what Gruber said. It's all about confusing us. Fog of war. But we've got the enemy battle map. We're not even looking at what they're projecting. We've got their battle map, and that's what they hate.
Dude, did he seem totally fucking coked out right there?
He did.
Oh
that
my God.
was,
yeah.
I'm surprised he's not cleaning a closet right now.
Like, he looks like he's fucking tweaking out hard.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we could say like this is not about Mars. Excuse me. This is not about Iran. This is about Mars. Meaning this is about attacking Elon, attacking the human evolution, attacking where we're going, playing this other game.
This is already an AI system that made the decision to have a post-human world, and Trump has jumped in with others and are saying no, we're not doing it at the elite level.
What? Wait. So did Alex Jones basically just say that if we were going to be attacked by an AI and the president were aware of it, that he wouldn't allow it at the elite level, just get rid of all the fucking peons?
The proletariat.
Yeah. We don't attack the rich people or those in power, just attack the little peons. Not the elites, just the little peons. Go and get them.
I'm confused because I'm like, just unplug it.
No, it's designed, wind power, solar, water wave technology that it can power itself forever. Nuclear power. They're nuclear powered, Ryan.
Well, then just unplug it, shoot the nuclear power, shove it in the closet, and don't let light and
quantum phase shift shit happening to control their stuffs.
Mars technology.
Uh-huh.
Oh, none of this happens in a vacuum. None of this happens in singular movements. This is all connected. We've already forgotten about Vegas. They roll Parkland out. So what happened to Vegas? That just is unsolved. No big deal. We know what happened to do with the Saudis. Now
unsolved.
We've all forgotten about what happened in Vegas. No,
we talked about it tonight.
Yeah. We have not forgotten about it.
And
Republicans want to push past it and pretend that it never fucking happened.
Yeah.
Carry on business as usual.
As a matter of fact, the body cam footage and the 911 calls were just fucking released.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of that.
They don't show much. They show them just clearing the room. I haven't seen the 911 or listened to the 911 calls yet.
Oh, yeah.
But they got the footage of them clearing, the room before they find his body.
Huh.
Saudis. Now they're having firefights there in Saudi Arabia, and it's going to get us into war with Iran.
And they don't want us to question the next false flag. That's what they're really pissed about. It's why they said I said Parkland didn't
false
happen.
Flag, huh? Isn't that what he's being sued about right now?
Uh-huh.
Which he claims he did not do.
Yeah.
And he just did again right there?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, but he didn't say specifically Sandy Hook was a false flag.
But he was
crisis actor situation.
Referring to, they were just talking about.
Because that's who he was being sued by, is the parents of Sandy Hook victims.
He was, but he just referred to those last two shootings as waiting for another false flag to happen.
Oh, because they were obviously false flags. Sandy Hook might have been a false flag when it happened. And that's what I said at the time. I may have changed my stance since then, but these clearly are false flag operations. They're all crisis actors. David Hogg, that little punk. Alex Jones is a terrible human being.
I wish he could go to jail.
That would be good.
I mean, he can't go to jail for the things he says unless he convinces someone to go kill someone else, which has almost happened.
Mm-hmm.
Even the death penalty is too good for him.
Yeah. He needs to watch his show on repeat over and over again while he's not high.
All right, next up, and this will be our last one, is Jim Baker. Says that the government scientists say Morningside is the best place to ride out the end times.
Now, I don't know where I'm guessing Morningside is the location. And I'm betting it's the location where his condos he owns are located at.
Or his church or something, yeah.
And he wants you to move there and rent his property.
Self-interest in some way, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, look, he has a cross hat just like your other favorite friend.
We're going to buy those and turn them upside down.
There's nowhere on earth you could live with more of God's generals here.
Oh,
We're-
God's.
I thought he was going to say God's genitals.
We just say here, so I'm guessing that's their location is.
Oh, is in Morningside?
Yeah.
Oh, that's his place is Morningside?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jen, that's so right.
I didn't know if those were candles on his desk at first.
That's what I was thinking, too. Like,
they're
what the
water
fuck are
bottles
those? Yeah.
with weird nipples on them.
Uh-huh.
generals here. We're outside of Branson, Missouri. Is where our address is Branson, but we're outside a little bit. We're on the other side of the lake of Branson.
Okay.
Branson has the #1 Christian theater in the world.
You're
We
talking
have
about Sight and Sound,
which don't sound that
So
scary, probably.
during the apocalypse, you can go see a play.
Well, yeah, what is the Sight and Sound Theater? It looks like a nice place.
It does. Sure. It looks like something you see over like in the Middle East almost.
You know, it's pretty easy to build nice buildings when you don't pay any taxes.
True.
Nicely manicured gardens. Looks nice.
The Sight and Sound. I tell you what, you all are going to know soon why God brought us here.
When?
Yeah, give us a date, motherfucker.
You say soon all the fucking time.
Tell us when. Give us something we can measure.
He wasn't good enough to get you out of prison.
Yeah, my slop bucket expired already.
Here. Do you know the people from the government, from the NASA, the research from so many of them, they have said in their research, the safest place to live in troubled times is right here.
Oh, imagine that.
I doubt that.
Yeah, I don't know if they've said that or not, but
that
would they have said that because perhaps this area is away from the coast?
Yeah, away from rising waters from
you
global
guys
warming.
are giving him way too much credit.
There's very little earthquake activity.
There's no fault
volcanoes,
lines.
no hurricanes, no tornadoes.
It is Missouri.
This
so
isn't even a good con job.
So
it's just it's a bad con job because he's not even pretending that any of the research is valid. He's just lying the entire time. All the research they've done, everything points to my house. So,
and I didn't know NASA did
you guys
research
know that?
on where to stay for the apocalypse.
Yeah, I know. They don't do research like that.
Right here.
Right over that water bottle.
That's why God brought us here.
What's up with his beard? Did you notice his beard?
What's going on?
Look,
With
he's got a little bald patch here. What is this all about?
Oh.
What is that? You see that?
Mine does that too. Mine doesn't grow right there.
Just right there?
Yeah.
Like he's got it on the other side, but not right there.
It kind of looks like he's got a dip in his mouth.
I bet he doesn't have it on the other side.
Oh, you think? Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Well, I
It just
shave
looked a little weird.
like down. Well, because I grow hair all
My
over.
hair doesn't grow right there.
Yeah.
Mine does.
My beard grows like under my eyes. I have to shave.
Yeah.
Well, you can see the hairs up here.
Yeah.
Like, I have to shave under my eyes.
Don't put the razor on your eyeball. Don't be going and giving yourself a PKP surgery?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, the
Where they where they take the razor blade and like peel back part of your eye and like shave it with a fuck that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, thank you all very much for tuning in this evening. It's been a delight to be back in the studio talking with you fine gentlemen and to our audience. So, until next time, I'm going to go old school and just say, crucify that like button.
Leave a review to achieve salvation.
And rate the show AR 15 times a day toward Mecca.
I saw that thing from here in Utah a few months back where the Proud Boys were trying to get people to boycott a tattoo parlor because they won't give them tattoos. And I think the tattoo parlor got a lot more business because of it, because everybody's like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to go there for my next tattoo. Good for them kicking your fucking asses out of that place. Apparently, there's like 3 levels to become a Proud Boy.
Oh, yeah?
Like first, I went on their website. It's fucking, the shit's insane.
They have levels of being a Proud Boy?
Yeah. Like, first you gotta
be a virgin.
Announce on your...
Where you're like, these guys are badass. I gotta find out how I can be a Proud Boy.
No, I just wanted to like find out more information about these fuckheads. Apparently, the first thing you have to do is announce on all your social media that you are a Proud Boy, and they give like this statement you have to post out there with your name in it. And then you have to be accepted into one of the Proud Boy groups, and then you have to get the Proud Boy logo tattooed on you to become a fully fledged Proud Boy. So I was kind of wondering, I'm like, well, they're at that tattoo parlor. I wonder if they're at that tattoo parlor to get one of their boys tattooed with their logo.
You have to brand yourself?
Yeah. And the guy at the tattoo parlor was like, fuck no, dude. You pieces of shit. Get out of here.
Clearly he knows what he did.
Yeah.
And so, I forgot. I should have mentioned this when we were recording. The other thing that was just kind of weird is that this was, the Lafferty brothers' murders were religiously motivated, right? They believed that God gave them these instructions that they had to kill these other people. So I'm in a prison where this guy committed a murder based on religious ideology, and we have this little connection over our beards, and I'm wearing my one of my Godless Revolution t-shirts, and I was like, I wonder, like, it didn't hit me until...
Like, I wonder if he gets podcasts.
Yeah, well, and so I wear atheist shirts all over the place, but it didn't hit me that I had worn that one in particular, and it didn't hit me until, like, the next day when I was commenting somewhere else about it. I was like, holy shit, I was wearing my Godless Revolution shirt. Like, I wonder if he noticed the shirt as well as my beard, and, like, what are his current thoughts on religion, and does he still think that this was, God commanding them to do something? And Michelle Wolf did not denigrate her looks at all.
No, I know.
If anything, she offered her a compliment on her looks.
No,
and everybody's like, oh no, it's terrible attacking the way somebody's attacking someone's appearance. She didn't attack. She said it was a perfect smoky eye.
Yeah.
I like Eli's description that she looks like a thwomp from Mario.